I was born in September of 1995, and it was a crazy time to be born. Whether you're interested in sports, pop culture, or music, there was always something going on to keep the masses talking. Two events that I found interesting were the publication of the manifesto of the Unabomber and the death penalty being reinstated in New York. The Unabomber, also known as Theodore Kaczynski, conducted a 17-year bombing campaign that took the life of 3 people and wounded 23 others. His reasoning was that he wanted to bring a revolution against the industrial system. The editors of the New York Times and Washington Post, as well as the officers in the FBI, met and determined that publishing the manifesto was important due to public safety. This is because the Unabomber said that he would stop all of his bombing if a major publication published his manifesto. The manifesto was 35,000 words, and it explained his motives and his views on the ills of modern society. Since the Unabomber was also anonymous, the FBI hoped the publication would give context clues to help readers identify the bomber. David Kaczynski, Ted's brother, was able to identify him as the Unabomber. Ted was arrested in April of 1996 and much later died in prison. While he was very much notarized in history, I am confident that his publication did not do exactly as he would hope. Another event of September of 1995 was that New York reinstated the death penalty. Governor George Pataki completed his campaign promise and designated lethal injection as the new method of execution. This was a complicated task because from 1978 to 1994, the death penalty was voted in and vetoed multiple times due to it being unconstitutional. The most notorious person to receive the death penalty was William Kemmler in 1890 for the murder of his common-law wife with a hatchet. However, David Patterson gave an executive order to remove all items used for execution in 2008. As you can see, September of 1994 was a notorious month to be born. I often consider what would happen if the Unabomber was born in today's society. His desire to be heard would definitely be easier and more attainable in modern technology. And while he hoped for notoriety, I'm assuming that he didn't want to spend his remaining years behind bars. The death penalty is still considered unconstitutional in New York and many other states. As time progresses and politicians change, it's unknown if that will too. Nearly 30 years later, the world continues to evolve and change due to historical events like the Unabomber manifesto being published and laws changing as it did with the death penalty in New York.